started. Welcome to our spring sports Meet the Coaches Night. It'll be very quick this year, and I'll explain why in a minute. First, I want to introduce the coaches, so when we split up, you'll know who to follow. It's like the Pied Piper and the mice, so they'll take you where you have to go. First, from baseball, we have Kevin Anderson, the varsity coach. Jim Scaduto, the JV coach. The little guy right there. Hey, come on. I'm the softball coach, Dave Reed. The JV coach is Amanda Kelly. I haven't seen her. And on time, Anthony Meninsky, the boys basketball coach. His assistant, Steve Boone, thank God he's here all the time. The girls' head coach, Laura Stern. And helping her, Madeline Murphy, for most of the year. New varsity boys lacrosse coach, Nick Work. And his assistant this year is Anthony Cicino. Our girls lacrosse coach, Beth Johnson. Assisted by Brenna Wilkins. And Savannah Caston, who is helping out as well. Girls tennis this year, I'll explain that later, but running the program is Liz Raymond. And doing the co-ed club sport for lacrosse, Katie Sullivan. So I want to welcome you. The reason why this is going to be quick, everything is being done on Arbiter for sign-up. So it doesn't take that long. We'll talk about that in a minute. But all the things, when I had to go over all the paperwork, I don't need to do anymore because there is no paperwork. You do it all online. You'll get questions asked that you and your parents check off, that you read what's there, and you read it, and you go to the next one, and then the next one. And then it gets on Arbiter. So we're trying it this spring for the first time. There'll be some glitches, but we'll work through it. The one thing that's not being done very well right now is getting the dates of physicals, but the school nurses will getting their interaction to this over the next couple of days. And we'll find out how we can get them put onto the Arbiter as well. So that's the only glitch, is making sure we have physicals. Some kids who have signed up have done what it asked. They either scanned or downloaded their physical into Arbiter, and that's fine too. So the nurse can get it right there. My voice won't last too long, so that's why I know it'll be quick. Everything on Arbiter you'll see is same as we did last year, and I won't explain each one, but the clearing for practice card, which now will be a one-page form that Arbiter will print out. The student parental permission form is on that form I just showed you. The opiate misuse is on there as well, and the head injury and concussion. Now, the only thing you'll have to do, you don't have to pass in a certificate anymore. Just state that you have read what was there and you agree with it. And the disclosure form is something I think is there, so you'll have to do that each season still, but you'll just go into your paperwork and check the one for either fall or winter or the spring next year. Next year you'll have to do it again in August, and that will cover you for the whole year, regardless of what sport you play. The big thing about physicals, I mean, they'll be on there, but you must have a physical within the last 13 months to be eligible. And that has to be on file in the school nurse's office. Some of you have turned them in, some of you have downloaded them, and they'll be able to take them and put them in your office. This is the next one that is not on there, but it's the age rule. If you're a freshman and you were 16 before last September 1st, you are not considered a freshman by age. Because by the time you get to be a senior, you'll be 19. Now, so as a 16-year-old freshman before September 1st, you're really playing at the sophomore level. So when you get to be a senior, Grades, attendance, participation is going to be a factor if we decided to apply for a waiver for you participating senior year. So if your age is older and you haven't done 4 years of eligibility yet, there's a good chance you will get the waiver. If you are a transfer, these are other things I need to know, and that doesn't mean a freshman coming from the 8th grade class to Monty Tech. It means if you're a freshman next year, or a sophomore, or junior, senior, and you did transfer into Monty Tech. I need to know that because we have to do what is called a Form 200 with your sending school to make you eligible. You got 4 years to play once you enter your 9th grade, no matter where it is. The chemical health rule, I believe, is in the new sign-up form as well. You can read it. It's also in your student handbook, so you can look for it in there. Grades for the spring are based on your second quarter grades to be eligible to start with. During the spring season, third quarter, I believe it ends in April. Does that sound right? So that way, those grades will determine if you can continue for the rest of the year. Don't wait till the last minute to see what your grade is. Keep it up, check with your teachers weekly, get the work done. I'll be honest with you. If you do the work, do your homework, you probably won't fail. You might not get an A, but you probably won't fail. And everything else will be based on the parents' permission for you to play. The last one is that loyalty to the high school team, bona fide team member rule, which is in the sign-up as well. If you're playing a varsity sport in high school, you can do other things outside of high school, but you cannot skip your high school practice or game to do them. If you do, it's a 1-game suspension every time you do it. So you got to remember that. You're loyal to your school first, everything else second, in terms of sports. We do have buses weekly, usually 4:15 and 6, and after some games, and they'll be posted in the hallways down near the gym. There's 3 spots. Right at the end of the hall, you'll see that bulletin board. You'll see the buses practicing games. Around the corner, where Mr. Sleer waits for his class in the morning and afternoons, there's one on that bulletin board. And there's one on the main bulletin board also. This is what it'll look like for the spring. There's nothing on there yet because we haven't started. But when you want to know when you're practicing and where, or what the games are for that week, check this out. This is the most accurate one. There are schedules on the wall down there, but they're going to change weekly. And I'll try to get up to them as soon as I can. So go by the weekly schedule first. The next thing is the team rules in a sense. Sportsmanship is very important. You want to treat your away teams and away facilities with the utmost respect and care, all right? If you're not taking care of your area at an away game and they call and say, hey, the place was left a mess, there could be game suspensions handed out for unsportsmanlike conduct. Not cleaning up, but if you're behaving badly at a game and it's brought to my attention, you may miss another game other than what the MIA requires. So please, practice good sportsmanship. Language, everything like that. Take care of it at practice and during games. Keep it clean and keep it well. I believe mouthpieces are still required for lacrosse. And I think that's it, right? No one else needs mouthpieces. Softball and baseball and rugby, right? And baseball and softball, if you want one, we have them. I mean, you can still get hit in the mouth with a bad bounce. Teeth are very expensive. Mouthpiece will help. Jewelry is not to be worn for practices or games except for track. For some reason, they're allowing kids to do it. I don't think it's a good idea still, because if they lose it or drop it, they're going to be more concerned with where their ring or their necklace or their piercing is than running a meet. So if they take it off and lock it up, you don't have to worry about it. Insurance. Obviously, if you're playing a sport, we do have athletic insurance that covers you. But first, your insurance kicks in. Whatever it doesn't pay, the school insurance will. Now, obviously, in today's society and what's going on now, if you're out of a job for whatever reason, you can get a 24-hour, 365-day insurance policy for about $60. And that covers dental as well. But you have to register and you use these forms. Once you send it in, your son or daughter will be covered 365 days, 24 hours a day from the date you send it in. You would take care of the school part first, your part second, and this would cover anything else. And what I mean by anything else, if we're in Framingham or Charlton and you have to take an ambulance ride and the bill is extremely high, well, the insurance company is going to tell you they'll only pay what they think is a going rate. Sometimes the insurance companies write it off. Sometimes they don't. And we have had kids get insurance bills after the fact, or parents, I should say. So this would help if you need added coverage. Now, signing up online. As I said, as of 5 o'clock today, we had 182 kids that have already taken the time to sign up. All students playing must sign up before they can practice. So don't plan on coming Monday if you haven't signed up online. You all have Chromebooks, you can do it. And most of the kids that have signed up are freshmen, so they're not as adept as most of you. I have no idea about a computer, so make sure you try to get it done. But this is what you do. You'll go to our homepage. Right-hand side, you'll see the spring sports signups. First, you just hit that. This is what you will see. And I believe the principal has sent out a link that this avoids you going to the homepage. That link goes right to this. First thing you gotta do is at the top, you gotta register for ABBA. This will be your registration for if you're a freshman for the next 3 years, sophomores for the next 2 after this, juniors for the next year, seniors, thank you. You're done after this year. But first you register. Then you would click on, in this, that's the registration. Why don't you quickly go through? It's a real quick process. First name, last name, email address, and then you have to retype it to make sure it's right. Password, you yours, not hers. She's not putting hers in anyways. And you retype that as well. And then a telephone number, a number you could be reached at. And you agree to join Abner, and you agree to the terms, and you want to create a new organization, and now you're done. It's all there. Then you would submit that. That's how quick it is to sign up. But then you go to the QR code and do the rest of the thing. How many here have already done that? Most of you. Good. Next question, I hope the hands aren't that many. How many have not signed up yet? A couple, okay. Go home tonight and do it. Now, those that have signed up, how long does it take? Anybody tell me? About how long? Anybody that's done it? I can't hear you all at once. 25, 30 minutes. But remember, that's just for the spring because it's a trial run. Next August, if you're playing any sports next year, you can do it, and it'll be on Arbiter for the whole year. You're just going to take you and sign up for the sport you want, if it's a winter or spring sport next year. But you'll have to do it again in August. So it's not that bad of a sign-up procedure. What the coaches are going to see, which I passed out tonight, is just a quick sign-up thing, which tells you the sport, the participant's name and grade, and most recent physical. Now, some haven't have one yet. Some will have a thing that says they downloaded it or scanned it in, and I can go in and check it, or the nurses will. And one that's important, as I told the coaches or showed them, will be this one. And coaches, if you're not sure, stop in my office and I'll go over this with you, but it's another way you can download all the pertinent information. This would be like the emergency card, the clearance for practice card. Everything, one page. You keep them with you during games in case someone gets hurt. And this is the most important one. Do I have any questions from anybody about the procedure? I told you this was going to be quick. Let's see. Well, I'll just say some general things. If you're coming out for a sport, practices are very important. The idea that you're there every day is very important. Playing sports is similar to a lot of other things. There's sacrifice, there's commitment, and there's dedication. The sacrifice might mean giving up something else you're doing to play the sport. You don't have to play the sport, but if you're going to, you're going to sacrifice and make sure you're there every day. What I call it, if you have co-op or affiliation, yes, that's very important for your high school. But in 52 years, I've had kids do co-op. Last year I had a few do affiliation, and they made it work so they could be at most of every practice sometime. They're not there at the beginning, but they did show up. So it's important that you make that commitment. Schedules will be on the wall down near the gym. Look at them, and get you started. Some coaches are doing fundraisers. They'll tell you about it tonight. We don't have what I call part-time athletes. You're not here every other week. You shouldn't be able to play or participate. There's a lot of kids that come every week and they kind of get pissed off if you're coming every other week and you're running or playing without even being there. So that's why you're a full-time athlete. Full-time student, full-time athlete, and hopefully your co-op people will understand and let you out to be able to get here for practices. Any questions? Yes?
Did I say that we don't have to print and download the passing certificate?
No, you don't have to do that anymore. You may have done it in the fall or the winter, but that was because that's what the old way. Now you see the thing that talks about concussions and all that, and at the end, the student and the parent will automatically check off that yes, I understand. Yes. If it's already turned into school, the nurses will have it. Hopefully. The thing that this does, and this is why I say this is a so much better way of doing sign-ups. I don't have 3,500 pieces of paper to go through each season. Now it's on the computer. So if someone says I turned it in, I just go to the computer and check. Not try to go through a whole box of paperwork. Things get misplaced when you have that many pieces of paper. And it has happened, I'm not going to deny it. This will be the best way to get signed up and make sure everything's in. Any other questions? Yes, right up here.
Once you submit, can you go back and get it?
I think so, but again, the first time we're using this, does anybody have that answer? You can.
You can always go in and edit it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Because I haven't signed up yet on that, I don't have to. I'm assuming it works. Any other questions? Yes, back.
The 13 months, does it have to cover the entire season or just before they start?
Your physical will be covered for 13 months, but if it runs out during the season, I'm assuming your doctor will get you one before it runs out, because they'll do it after 12. That's why the MIA makes it 13. It gives you that 1 month buffer. So if you know it's coming up during the season, I'd make an appointment now. Any other questions? If I'm missing you, yell out. All right. So, we're going to be splitting up. Don't run it when I say where you're going until we're done so you don't get confused. Follow your coach. All right, baseball. Back left room is where you'll go. Track and field, back right room. Softball right down here in the front, on my side. Girls lacrosse, will be to the front left. Rugby, you'll be out in the foyer. Boys lacrosse will be in the middle back. And tennis will be right here in the middle front. Any questions on where you're going? Follow your student, take time to go, and follow your coach. Again, thank you for coming.